Well, now we're starting with a laugh, so this is good. Um, so it's good to see both of you. And I want to ask you, is this psychic abilities that we're exercising? Test that question, both of you. Like when you just got a signal there, was it psychic abilities? Psychic power?
It's yes.
My signal, my finger open.
Okay, so the question is, am I psychic?
I've always known that.
Well, yeah.
Good yes.
Okay, now test this. Can I use this psychic abilities to control my metabolism?
Good yes.
Okay, now that's what all these movies are about. What we're really doing is sharing our experiences of controlling our metabolism with psychic abilities, psychic powers, being psychic stuff. So,
And just to clarify, that doesn't mean that you don't do anything on the physical level, but the psychic powers empower you to do that.
yeah.
And to know what the right things are.
Yeah, the psychic powers enable you to know what to eat, to be specific, and when to rest, to be specific, and when to go to sleep, to be specific, and when to wake up, and all of that. Yes? Is that?
And when to exercise, and
when to exercise,
how to exercise,
and when to poop. Like my psychic powers are telling me it's time to poop now. Good. Okay, so and the question is the way to lose weight quickly to control our metabolism? Or is there something else we need to do?
I tested yes.
Okay, so we have to control our metabolism to lose weight quickly. And that means that it's as important to know when to sleep as it is to know what to eat, yes?
Yes.
Because when sleeping is one of the ways that we control metabolism. When we sleep, our metabolism readjusts.
Well, sleep really affects my weight tremendously.
Okay, let's go further into that, Keely. I want you to talk about that.
Well, I noticed that when I have some of those nights where I'm up really late and then I end up sleeping only 4 hours or so, I just want to eat the next day. It's like I'm trying to give myself something that I didn't get, that I didn't have when I woke up. And like it feels like food is going to compensate for that. It's going to either give me energy or give me a good feeling or whatever.
One of the best writers on nutrition that I ever read, and the funny thing is I cannot think of this guy's name right now. You ever block somebody's name? Well, I for whatever reason, I'm blocking, but he said, whoever it was, I read him like in around 1971. This guy said, people stimulate themselves with food.
Right. I read the same thing. Not necessarily the same guy, but I remember reading articles even recently about how that's exactly what happens when you don't get enough sleep.
I just remembered who it was. It was Herbert M. Shelton, who wrote the book Fasting Can Save Your Life. And he said we stimulate ourselves with food. And yes, when people's sleep cycle is disrupted, they feel like eating.
Right.
And we don't have to try to figure out why. They just eat more. Like they eat like crazy. People stay up all night and then they say, let's get breakfast.
I also read an article that said that when you
Nobody laughed.
when you lack sleep, you crave more carbs than you need.
Oh yeah, okay. Because your metabolism is adjusted in that way when you're lacking in sleep. Ross, do you have anything to add to this?
Well, I know that there are people that in the middle of the night wake up and go to the kitchen, open the fridge, and they eat whatever they can get their hands on.
Right.
Okay.
And breaking the sleep is a form of insomnia, anyway.
Okay. By the way, you have something on your lip that looks like a cold sore.
It's what I told you about. It's not a sore. It's when I fell down, I burned my lip. Now today is wonderful. comparing it to what it was when on Tuesday.
Oh, you got a fat lip.
Yeah.
Did you say you
On
broke your
Tuesday.
leg?
Excuse me?
Did you say you broke your leg?
No, my God. Touch wood. My lip. I
Oh.
fell on my face.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, so that's what it's a bruise, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. You got a fat lip.
I have to ask you a favor. Today, don't make me laugh. Ah.
It hurts, I know.
Ross, have you been taking a lot of vitamin C for it?
No, I confess I haven't.
Okay. You should actually just right now get up, walk away from the computer. I'll talk to Keely. Take 5,000 milligrams of vitamin C.
5,000.
Yeah. Take 5,000. It will heal much faster. And then take
Nice.
3,000 every 3 hours. And your lip will heal faster. From a bruise, when you fall, when you hurt yourself, when you cut yourself, or you bang yourself, or you bruise yourself, you take vitamin C. That's what you do. So you could
No,
just.
I don't have it in the house. I will buy tomorrow. First thing.
Okay, well then you'll have to
3,000 every 3 hours.
start
Yes?
4,000 every hour.
start with 5,000, and then go to
Okay.
3,000.
5,000 grams.
And then go to 3,000.
Yeah, okay.
5,000 milligrams.
Milligrams, okay.
All right. So back to Keely. And we're talking about how sleep affects metabolism. Do you have anything more to add to that?
Well, just how I feel when I've had good sleep. I just feel complete.
But what does this have to do with metabolism, controlling metabolism?
Well, I would think that eating is an attempt to drive up your metabolism, so that you feel, that in your normal state, in your state of function. And food is your attempt to bring up your metabolism, because that's what food does. When you eat first thing in the morning, it gets your metabolism going. And so if I've slept a lot, I just have that feeling when I wake up that I don't need anything, because my metabolism, I guess, is regular. It's normal. It's functioning.
Right. Okay.
And I don't feel like I have to rush to eat in order to in order to get going.
I always get enough sleep, but sometimes it's only like 4.5 hours, but it feels like enough to me.
Right.
Also, I don't eat probably for at least 6 hours after waking. And I always feel totally fine, and I'm never hungry, and I don't feel enervated, or I just feel very alert and aware.
Except you eat very late at night. Like you'll sometimes eat dinner at 10 o'clock, whereas I have my main meal at 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yes,
So
I always eat.
When I wake up, I want to eat.
Right, I was always a dinner at 8 person, but now it's gotten into a dinner at 9 or 10 person. That's true, but
You can go longer in the morning without eating, but I've been fasting for longer than you when I wake up.
But the funny thing is, I'm always up at first light, and I usually go to sleep around midnight. And I never feel stuffed or uncomfortable during the night. I don't feel like that. Well, maybe I just don't eat so much that I feel uncomfortable.
Well, a lot of your dinners are fruit dinners, too.
No, I never have fruit anymore, but I sometimes have veggie dinners with quinoa and tomato sauce and things like that.
You don't have fruit dinners anymore. That's interesting.
I haven't been having fruit dinners recently.
I think a better word for complete when I wake up after good sleep, the word is really fulfilled, and that relates more to what we're talking about, but that is the feeling.
Well, a lot of people get fat because they're not fulfilled, so that does definitely relate. Unfulfilledness is a great big cause of overweight.
Yep.
And what do you say about that, Roth?
Yes. agree. It's like with smoking. You smoke a cigarette because you need to put something inside. You have an emptiness inside that you need to fill, and so either it is smoke, as it was for me, or it's food. And in fact, since I gave up cigarettes, I was eating more because now it has changed. I mean,
You won't buy any
much
more?
less.
After you
Excuse
gave
me?
after you gave up cigarettes, you don't what?
Yes, I started to eat more
Right.
because I felt something was missing. Okay, so I really start eating like a pig.
Yeah, that's so common.
Yeah, and now it's been a week, yes, more or less. I've started a new diet, which seems to be good for people with emphysema.
What's the diet?
You have to give up sugar, and I've always had a lot of sugar because when I was smoking, I always had some coffee with my cigarette, and I used to put 3 spoonfuls of sugar in my coffee.
Wow.
So, and now I have given up sugar. You have to give up fizzy drinks and only drink water. You have to give up bread, and I was a bread eater. Okay, I was used to eat a lot of bread like a good Italian woman. And what else? I can't eat any food that once you have ingested it transforms into sugar, like for example potatoes. So what I eat is vegetables, raw or steamed, meat, white meat, red meat, fish, boiled eggs, tuna, what else? No pasta. And that was another thing I was, eating a lot of. And my husband is being wonderful because he is cooking these things for me.
Oh, great.
He makes pasta. Yes, he's very, very nice. He's very, he teases me about the story of the diet, but he does it.
That's great.
Wow.
That's
That's
great.
It's been really great. Yes, I really appreciate what he's doing, and I told him so.
It's so sweet. You know, I won't eat a corn chip that is made with sugar. That's,
Yeah, I won't do
Yeah,
it.
don't tell me.
it's too funny.
Don't tell me.
I won't eat. If something has a trace of sugar, I won't touch it. You know, that's too funny. You know, people.
Folks, I don't know, are you getting any complex carbohydrates like whole grains and things like that?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And especially sugar. Because when you have emphysema, it seems you have some pathogens in your lungs that proliferate and they feed on sugar. So if you don't give them sugar, they just die.
Right. That's right. Well, now, okay, to take this up a notch, okay, and let's just kick this whole thing up a notch. I want to demonstrate how to use psychic powers to lose weight fast. Okay? How to use psychic powers in metabolic control. And so I'm going to go to Ross and do this with you. And Keely, you chime in, okay, if you want with this. But we're actually going to do something here. So Ross, I want you to hold your finger up and test here. And I want to ask, do I have any things that cause me to feel empty? Like any dysfunctions, immune dysfunctions, missing functions, pathologies that cause me to feel a feeling of emptiness and needing something. See if you get a signal on that.
Yes.
Okay, so what comes? Let's use what comes to your mind. We're going to just use pure psychic abilities here. Okay, so we're not going to use any of the lists in the web college. We're just going to use psychic abilities. Keep your finger up so you can test what pops into your mind. Okay, so what comes to mind?
Not feeling loved enough.
test that?
No.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Not loving enough.
Test.
No.
How about wanting love?
Wanting love. Is it wanting love? Yes.
Okay. So is this one of the alien disabilities?
Is this one of the alien disabilities? Yes.
Okay. So we're going to remove this. So test this question.
Okay.
Okay. Irradiated by aliens 4,500 years ago.
Was I irradiated from aliens? Can you repeat the time?
Yeah, just 4,500 years ago.
45,000?
4,500.
100. 4,500 years ago. Yes.
Okay.
It took a moment to get the signal.
Okay.
But it's yes.
Now, like a huge number of people on this planet, and we're all still, most people have been on this planet who are on the planet have been around for the last 13,000 years when the time cycle began, around 13,000 years ago. And so, like most of us were irradiated by aliens at 4,500 years ago, and so we have this disability. So now, hold your finger up and test, did I remove it?
Did I remove it? Yes.
Okay. Now, do you know how to test your organs with your other hand? Well, hold up your finger. Hold up your finger like you just were. Now, do you know how to point to organs with your other hand and connect with the organ point for each organ? Did you ever do that?
No, I've never done that. When I work with organs, I just name the organ.
Okay. Well, I just want to experiment with this a little bit. So hold your other hand up where we can see it. Okay?
Yes.
Now point your middle finger to your lung. But keep all your fingers out straight. And point your middle finger to your lung. Don't touch your body.
Okay.
Keep your finger away from your body, a little more away from your body. So you're going to make a connection, an energy connection between the middle finger, with all the other fingers should be pointing, including the thumb, towards your body. But your middle finger will connect right at the organ point for your lung. I found mine. And just move it around, move the finger around till you find the organ point. And then when you find it, your other finger will move, or whatever, you'll get a signal. When you're on the organ point, you'll get a signal. Got it?
Yes.
Did you stay on it? Are you still connected with it?
Yes.
Okay, test if it's strong.
Is it strong? No, I get no.
Okay.
You mean is your lung strong?
Yes.
Yeah. So now say, I'm removing the effects of the alien irradiation.
I'm removing the effects of the alien irradiation.
And when your finger moves, your lung will be... Okay, you got it. Okay. So that... And now test, is my lung strong?
Is my lung strong? Yes.
Okay. And you have to do this with all the organs on the upper part of your body.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you for teaching me this. I love it. I will do it.
Okay, and there's a diagram in the Webb College in the organs application of Skill 1 that has all of the organ points. And what you're supposed to do is you actually have to find them the way I just showed you. But the diagram shows you approximately where to search for them.
Yeah. I have the diagram.
Okay, and that's how you search, just like that. And you strengthen all your organs this way, and this should never come back.
So I do it just once.
Well, you can test yourself for it at some point in the future, but you probably will never find it again. Also, once you strengthen, once you undo it, it probably is. They'd have to irradiate you again to give it back to you.
Those bastards. Why did they do that to me in the first place?
To everybody on Earth at that time. They did it to keep us down.
Fucker.
That's what they did it to keep us down.
You can still society. I mean, you can still see the effects of it.
Yeah, everybody's walking around in this. They're still this way. And if you look at the thousands of years and the wars and the awful things that have happened, and
the way the economy is set up, you know,
because everybody's weak.
We'll control everything.
Everybody's weak.
Yes.
You know, they have organ weakness.
Absolutely, it makes sense.
And they're trying
I just have a question. Do I have to do the same thing with my other lung?
No, you have to do it with all the organs on the upper part of your body.
Okay, but when I have two organs,
you do the right and the left lung. Yeah, you can do both. You do them.
Well,
separate.
it might have come back. You could test it and see if it's come back.
Ah, okay.
Why don't you test it right now? Find the point for the other lung, hold your finger up, and see if it's back. By the way, the interesting thing about this is that your organs will test as strong in other situations. It's only when you're working this disability that they test as weak. You brought it back. It's back? It's okay?
I get no signal.
Okay, so are you finding the points?
I get no signal on the point.
Okay, so you found the point. Can you feel the point with your finger?
No. Give me a second.
First find the point and then see if it's strong.
Okay, found it.
Okay, now see if it's strong.
Is my lung strong? No.
Okay, bring it back.
Okay, I'm bringing my organ back now.
Removing the effects of alien irradiation. Got it?
I'm removing the effects
you just got
of alien radiation.
I thought you just got a signal there, did you?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really fast. But I'm telling you, your organs will only test strong when you're testing for this. And when you find that weakness, it means that you were. It's just a way of testing for the irradiation. But even though the organs were strong, there's got to have been a way in which they weren't strong. And you can see what it was because what you tested for was this love thing. Wanting love, which is it's not feeling unloved or not feeling loving enough and all this stuff. It's wanting love, which is it only tests as those words, which is the alien disability. 4,500 years ago, there's another one. There are 8 lower dimensional disabilities, and there's a lesson on them, and they're listed. In the lesson, and you have to test yourself for all of them. They're not all alien disabilities. There's only 2 that we know of.
Okay. Anyway, my wanting love was the consequence of this alien irradiation.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you should stop wanting love in that way, in that pathological way. Once you've completed doing this, you have to complete it off camera. I don't want to spend we'd have to spend the whole movie on it. And I don't want to do that. But so when you're by yourself, but this is how psychic abilities are used to control metabolism. And as people
only the organs on the upper part of my body.
Well, the lower ones are another disability.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Those are the 6,300 year ago one.
Oh my God!
but you can find the lesson in the web college.
I discovered.
It's not in the organ lesson.
I think it might be in the functions. Might be in the functions.
In the functions.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You can find it in the list of lessons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can look under disabilities, lower dimensional. And
Disabilities. Okay.
there's all these
Write
different
this down.
lessons on disabilities. There's upper dimensional and lower dimensional disabilities.
Okay.
But see, the point is that all of these things are spiritual problems.
Yeah.
This is what we lump into the spiritual area. All of these things are spiritual problems. They're all accessed through psychic abilities. And as you take them out and they disappear, your control over your metabolism rises.
Yes.
So that's the idea. And my control of my metabolism has risen to the point where I spend all day doing things that are good for me, and I don't do anything that's bad for me generally. Most of the time, anyway. And I still have to work up myself all day, but I have a better life and so on, so, and I'm skinny, like you guys, and you're skinny because you have to realize that you have a high degree of control over this, and Keely has always wanted to have this control, and has a very high degree, and always has had. Before we discovered doing this, Keely has always had a very high degree of control of her metabolism. What do you want to say about this, Keely?
Well, actually, the thing I want to say is not exactly related to weight or metabolism, but the whole thing that you just did with Ross shows anybody watching how important it is to have a buddy to test with, because you don't, not only to know some of the complex things that are in the website, which you can always find yourself by testing, even if you're not familiar with the website. You can always go to the lessons and, hover your finger over the list and see where it opens, and that'll tell you what lesson you need. And the lesson might not seem to be directly related to weight or metabolism, but it will have something to do with it, like what Ross just did. But also, even when Ross was testing, not one love, but what was the first thing you tested? Not getting enough love or not love?
Yeah.
And then, your buddy, who was fired in that case, said, well, test wanting love. And your buddy will be able to test things that won't occur to you because of the thing that you're working on, which doesn't want you to test the right question because it wants to survive. That's just the way it's set up. So it's, even if you have a buddy who's not experienced in IMMUNICS,
It's better than nothing.
because they will be able to see things that you don't see, and questions will occur to them that won't occur to you, and you'll move forward together that way. So that's what I wanted to say.
And Ross is a buddy to people. Your thing, Ross, has been to, you're always inviting people to call you, and you help each other, on Skype, right?
Yeah.
What's that been like for you, doing that?
Nice.
Who are some
I like doing that.
Who are some of the people you've done it with?
Let me think.
Lise, right?
Nate.
Your students your students at school where you teach
Yes.
English, you're an
Yes.
English teacher?
And then now with Emma Rogato.
Emma Gatto, have you talked to her?
Emma Gatto, yes.
Okay, she's in England, right?
Yeah, she's in England.
So you often do this with other Europeans.
Yes.
Right. Well, our local actions are global actions. We think locally and act globally. Everything we do is a global action.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're putting something that isn't in the world into the world, because people don't do this. People don't use psychic abilities to cure their metabolism.
That's right.
Or sometimes if they don't recognize that it was a psychic ability.
Yeah, they just don't know what they did. That's true. See, we teach people to do consciously and intentionally what they're
Right.
generally doing unconsciously anyway.
Yeah, because people are finding things that work all the time. You know, there are people who don't know IMMUNICS who are successful at controlling their metabolism and weight loss, and people who don't consider themselves psychic. But when you find out the story behind what worked, you know, there's probably, maybe even always, you know, a psychic component. There's a spiritual component to it.
You know, I was telling somebody how I cured a wart. She was asking me about it. And it was a planter's wart, so it was in my bone, and it was very painful. It went all the way down to the bone. It burrowed underneath my flesh.
Wow.
And it was on my toe. And I was telling her I found a plant that cured it. And the first time I had the plant, I didn't actually put it on the wart. I slept holding it in my hand.
Wow.
That's a psychic cure.
I never knew that.
Yeah, I was absorbing the essence of the plant through my skin, but it wasn't touching my toes, touching my hand.
Was that the jewelweed?
Yes, and no, it was not. Jewelweed also cures warts, but this was purslane.
Purslane.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
You can put purslane on warts and it kills the warts.
I never knew that.
I keep a purslane plant in the back by the pool.
I used to get the most wonderful purslane from the farmer's market in Philly.
Yeah.
Chinese
You are
stuff.
absorbing the energy of the plant,
Yep.
keeping it in your hand. It works a bit the same way with the bug flowers.
That's
you
right.
know? Even if, for example, if a newborn baby can sleep and cries a lot, you put the bottle of rescue remedy in the crib, and very often the child cools down and falls asleep.
Uh-huh.
Because there is alcohol in the bug flower, so it's better not to give it directly to the baby.
Right. The vibration, though, is what affects
Exactly.
Well, I rubbed it on my cat and it had no effect. I was really trying there to stop my cat from being a nuisance. I'm just kidding. I didn't really do that, but now I'm going to. I'm going to find out what happens this time. I'm going to try getting this cat to stop yowling in the middle of the night. Well, this is good. What you're coming through for people here. You're coming through for people because you're showing them how it's done and what to do. And you know, this, if you want to lose weight quick, do it with a buddy.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a story about a time when you used these abilities to control your metabolism?
I do remember a time when one of the first times that I tested about my set point, and I lowered my set point, my weight. And I think the very next day I discovered the blood type diet.
Ah, oh, wow.
And I liked the way it sounded, and I liked the whole premise of it, and it made sense to me, and I started it, and in 1 month I lost 11 pounds.
Wow. And you know, that's something, see, people actually don't understand what we're trying to do. They think we're trying to be a diet. You know, when we say we will help them lose weight, they think, oh, what's your diet, you know? And our diet is the South Beach diet, the blood type diet, the Atkins diet. It's all the diets, macrobiotics, it's
whatever you need to do that works.
Whole foods, raw foods, yeah. It's grapefruit juice, the grape diet, those are our diets.
Right.
You know, what diet is it? It's every diet on the web. This is all of the diet.
It's like having ammunition at your disposal when you're fighting a war, you know. You just use the correct weapon.
That's right.
Exactly.
You find the diet.
Right.
You find the right diet. Can you tell me another story about how you use these abilities to control your metabolism? Like, what pops into your mind? It
Are
doesn't
you
have.
talking to Kelly?
I'm talking to you. I'm talking to both of you.
Excuse me. Okay. Last week when we made the video, we talked about the set point. Do you remember?
Yes. Oh, sure.
And we worked on that. And it was maybe the following day that I found the diet I told you about for my emphysema.
Okay.
It's amazing. The same thing. That's the same thing that happened to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you found the the emphysema diet. Yep. How did
I
you,
was racking my brain all morning when I was swimming, trying to think of more stories, but I really couldn't.
how did you find the emphysema diet?
I was looking on Google for some alternative remedies to emphysema, and among the many things which came up, I was really attracted by this one. There is this guy who tells the story of his mom having emphysema at the end. She was at the end. She was on oxygen. She couldn't walk, and the treatment didn't do anything to her. And so he started looking on the internet like crazy, and he found out about this diet, and he started to do it on his mom. His mom is still alive, and now she's breathing well, and she looks fine. She's fine.
Okay.
And I tested, of course, if it was good for me, and I got yes. And so I said, okay, why not? I'll do it. I'll try.
I want to ask a question here. Okay, so hold your hands up and ask, is one way to lose weight fast to simply raise the level of my metabolism, raise the rate at which I metabolize food?
Yes.
Keely gets yes. What do you get, Ross?
Yeah. Me
Okay.
too.
Well, don't you remember when we were in the 80s or the early 90s, I guess, when we had the whole staff get their hair tested
That's right.
for mineral deficiencies and excess and all kinds. And one of the things that you could tell was your metabolism.
That's right.
And at that time, I tested that I had a slow metabolism rate, and that's when I embarked on a whole journey of discovering how to raise my metabolism. I altered my diet, and I changed the way I exercised, and all things like that. And that was really the beginning of the control of my metabolism, when I discovered that I could control my metabolism. And
Sure.
I was successful at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to get back to bring us up to the present moment, let's test this, okay? I want you to hold your hands up and just say right here, I am now raising the rate at which I metabolize food and other nutrients.
Yes.
Okay? And now, to go on with that, I want you to say, I'm raising the absorption rate, my absorption rate for nutrients.
Yes.
So you can do this with this. Now, do you feel any different?
It's funny because I feel slower, but in a nice way, in a, calm. I feel very calm.
So fast is slow. Like fast, it's funny because people think if they raise their metabolism, they're going to be like they're going to feel anxious.
Right, but it's not true, because you feel anxious to get your metabolism up.
Yeah, you feel like relaxed, like,
I'm at function, I'm full function. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah,
I
it's,
feel the sort of relaxation really in my stomach.
you felt a relaxation in your stomach.
Yes, around my third chakra.
Nice.
Your stomach is actually your third chakra.
Yeah. Okay. Any other differences?
Oh, I feel happier.
Ross, and you? Any other
No,
differences?
I just feel calm.
Well, this is another example of direct metabolic control through psychic abilities, right here. You know, people think being psychic is about doing a reading, but actually there's a lot more to it. It includes that, but it's about causing things psychically.
Right.
You know, changing the physical world, changing your body, killing a virus, or changing the rate at which you metabolize food, or curing your own cancer. It's all part of using psychic abilities to exert control over your life and your surroundings. And it's exactly what the Catholic Church never wanted us to do. You know, when we talk about, like we often talk about everybody in the world knowing that people can do this, like knowing people can cure their own cancer. And a lot of times when we talk about that, people confuse that and they think it means that everyone will cure their own cancer. Like if they know they can, that they will. But probably they won't. You know, probably they'll try to burn the people who cure their cancer. That's what they've done for thousands of years when they saw people,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah, a lot of it was, they called them witches or...
That's
Yes.
right.
And they were just women that had the knowledge about how to use herbs and do healing, you know, and they were burned. And that's terrible.
Okay.
They don't want us to know because knowledge is power.
That's right. So now hold your fingers up again, and I want you to test something. Did I go into a negative state when I was talking about that?
Yes, I could feel it.
And what about you, Ross? Do you get a signal? Did you go into a negative state?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you have things to... These are spiritual problems. And because of this negative state, you will lose control of your metabolism. See, that's what people have to understand, that these negative spiritual states cause you to lose control of your metabolism and do bad things to yourself, like stay up all night, overeat, or whatever, however people act out when they go into these bad states, and so these bad spiritual states. And so now I want you to just say, I'm removing the effects of that, you know, of that bad state. Just remove it. How would you put it?
I'm
Just
removing the damage that I've caused to myself by going into that state. And I'm removing any, negative effects of the state, and I'm removing any beingness in that state.
Let's try. Okay, did you get a signal?
Yeah, I got a signal on all of it, as I was saying.
Do you feel better?
Yeah.
Ross, do you feel any better?
Yes, I feel like before going into the bad state, my stomach is calm again. But when we were talking about women burned and things like that, my stomach got agitated again.
Okay, now I want you to do this. I want you to say, I'm removing the effects that those people have on me and have had on me. And I'm putting up my shields so that those people do not affect me any longer,
That's a good one.
even if they put me in chains or burn me.
My finger like wants to fly out of the room.
They can't affect me even if they put me in chains or burn me.
Good.
Oh,
Now,
yes.
do you feel different now?
Yes.
I saw a big sigh of relief there. Ross, tell us what it's like to be you now.
My shoulder relaxed and I'm calm. I'm afraid.
Okay. It's funny because, you know, somebody comes in here wanting to lose some weight, okay? They need to take off 10 pounds. And what they're learning how to do is remove the effects of the Catholic Church for the last 2,000 years. You know, that they...
And the alien irradiation of 4,500.
Yeah, they're discovering
Yeah.
they're discovering that they have to remove those effects in order to lose their 10 pounds. You know, it's like, what? You know, it's more than they're getting more than they bargained for, you know.
Absolutely. Probably they will watch the video thinking, oh, these good people are going to give me a good diet, you know?
I mean, this answers the question of why people go on successful diets and then, you know, gain the weight all over again, because they have the things
Yes.
running them that they haven't
Exactly.
handled or addressed that keep coming back.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. You know, I have to say that as movies that I've made goes, this movie will probably always feel like a high point in my career as a cinematographer.
It's because of Ross's hair and striped shirt. That is why.
Yeah, the sailor.
Run, Lola,
The
run.
sailor woman.
This is the one they'll remember me for. Well, all right. I'm starting to feel like, you know, do you feel like we've said, have we been really clear about what we've done so people understand what they've seen?
Yes, I think this has gone in a direction that was really necessary and good, and people are going to get value from this.
Well, let's all test this question. Will people completely understand what they saw here? Is it all here for them? Is it all in the movie so they can understand it? Is nothing we need to add to it? No explanation or anything? Is it good?
I test no. I'm not getting this. No.
I test
You
yes.
test yes.
Keely, is there something that you need to say or add to this so that people understand what they've seen?
I'm not getting a signal on that either.
Okay, good. Is there something I need to add or say?
No.
Okay.
Is it something that the person has to do? Is it an approach the person has to make to this?
Does the person have to test the same things we've tested through this movie?
No.
I get yes.
Huh.
I got yes too.
Okay. Maybe I'm switched. No, got yes.
I think, you know, Keely, you may be channeling some kind of an influence that comes in when you do something really good. It tries to destroy it. Did you get a yes on that?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, a test, have I cleared it?
No. Wait. I'm clearing it.
Okay. This is good. Test, do I need to break up with my boyfriend?
This is cruel.
I used to
Don't do
test
it, Killy.
years ago. I used to test yes on that question a lot, but now I test no.
Now, do I just need to immunize myself when I get, you know, taken down? See, that's the thing, is that what we're supposed to be doing is immunizing ourselves. We're not supposed to be changing somebody else or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes.
You know? Because, you know, you can find so much fault with anybody.
Or anything.
You'd never be with any, you'd never have a friend in the world.
Right.
You know? I mean, I could, for that matter, I could find fault with the two of you. If I really
and
wanted.
vice versa, baby.
I'm sure I could definitely find tons of things, tons of reasons not to hang around with either of you. If I
We
really.
don't do that with everyone. We have done it. Have done it.
What, Ross? What'd you say?
Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you.
But I love you anyway. I can't help it.
Well, you know what? What I've done instead is I've allowed myself to enjoy and avail myself of all the wonderful people I have in my life. That's been my way of dealing with this. And if there's something you know, that is coming from them that's not good for me, I just immunize myself to that particular thing.
And also to be strong enough so that whatever negativity there is out there doesn't have to influence you in any way. You know,
That's
it can
right.
just be there. You don't have to absorb it or be affected by it or like it or dislike it or whatever.
Yeah, that's what this is for. That's
Right.
what we're supposed to be using our psychic abilities to do. And this was the additional thing that needed to be done and said in this movie.
Yes, yes.
Well, this is great. And I do thank both of you. So it's wonderful having these meetings with you, and I'm intending to do this again next Sunday. Would that be okay with both of you?
Sunday, I'll talk to you about that. Might not be.